Eddie, we've just landed 7-0 Justis Huni to the Matchroom team. Just talk to us first and foremost how this deal come about.
Yeah, it's a really big signing for us. I mean, everyone knows Australia is a big market for us. We've already got a fantastic stable of Australian fighters, and now adding to the glamorous heavyweight division with Justis Huni. Fantastic talent, great amateur, 7-0, already ranked number 14 with the WBO, and a real star of Australian boxing, and someone that I believe can really launch an attack on the heavyweight division. So obviously through our show there and our dealing with Tasman Fighters and Mick Francis, he was out of contract looking to make a move. And the same kind of thing, you know, an Australian fighter that wants the opportunity to fight on a global scale, you know, be part of a global schedule. And that's the same with Justis Huni. He knows that he has to make his move. If he wants to become a major name in the heavyweight division, he has to be boxing in America. He has to be boxing in the UK and of course Australia. For us, you know, when you look at our Australian stable now with Justis Huni, with Ebony Bridges, with Steve Spark, with Sky Nicholson, with Dempsey McKean, with Liam Paro, with Brock Jarvis, like we have a fantastic stable of Australian fighters and more are coming. We've got some big Australian signings coming up over the next few months. And you know, we've already, I believe, got the strongest stable in Australian boxing, and it's going to be a big part of our plans for 2023.
I guess having the global platform like DAZN must have been one of the main reasons Justis has decided to link up with Matchroom.
Yeah, you know, all these fighters that we're speaking to in Australia, they all want the opportunity to fight overseas. Doesn't matter if it's Ebony, Steve Spark, a great example, Liam Paro, you know, about to fight in Liverpool as well, Sky Nicholson, who's boxed all around the world as well, Brock Jarvis, you've seen him box in America, and that's what we can offer those international fighters. And they know that the Australian market is vibrant, but at the same time, it's not big enough to land them the big opportunities and the big exposure. So for Justis, you know, he has big ambitions. Like I said, already ranked in the top 15 in the world. He's a very, very good fighter. He was an outstanding amateur as well, and very, very excited. And I think, you know, we're going to show those Australian fighters what we can do when we take a fighter on the global scene.
And he's still only 23 years old. I was quite surprised by that. I thought he was a few years older. That in itself shows you, you know, he can really build into the division over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and speaking to Mick Francis, you know, they want to move him quite quickly. I'm okay. I think that we'd like to make sure we give him opportunity to grow as a fighter and as a heavyweight. I was at his last fight in Australia, and you know, he can really fight. He's very slick. He's very skillful. He's growing in size as well. Strong guy, and like I said, great pedigree, very, very good fighter and a great addition to the stable.
Let's talk about his style. Like you mentioned there, you was at his last fight. Some of our fans might not have seen him box. I think two attributes that stand out from what I've seen of him, the hand speed first and foremost, and the movement. Anything else you can add to that?
Yeah, he's quite a small heavyweight, but with that comes tremendous movement and great speed as well. He can punch, you know, he likes to stand in the trenches and trade. He's a very exciting fighter as well. You know, and there's some big fights out there for him. You know, the likes of Dempsey McKean, the likes of Joseph Parker, you know, potentially Lucas Brown, but a whole host of heavyweights really. And you know, the plan for us is to see him box 3 to 4 times a year, once in America, once in the US, and once in Australia. And I think he's going to headline some huge fight cards in Australia.
Yeah, when can we expect to see his Matchroom debut? I think he's just coming off a hand injury as well, right?
Yeah, he's back training. He's going to, you know, part of the move with Justis is to make sure that he has the facilities to go and train internationally. So it's very likely that Mick Francis and the team there will send him, and his dad Rocky will send him to America to train, which will be quite soon. We're looking to get him out early April. You know, could even land on a Canelo Alvarez card, which would be huge for him. And yeah, ready to go. A box at least 3 times this year, and start positioning him for a shot at the world heavyweight title. Of course, not this year, but 2024 and probably 2025, I believe you'll see Justis fight for the world heavyweight title.
Yeah, let's talk about it a little bit. He's already picked up a few of these sort of regional governing body bouts. Is that something you spoke about with the team to sort of maybe secure a few more of those and get him into?
Yeah, I just think it's about experience at this stage of his career. You know, you can talk about the big names, but there's no rush. Like you say, he's 23 years old. He's 7-0. You know, they're big believers in him. Rocky, Justis, Tasman Fighters, and I'm already mentioning names that comes back with the answer, no problem. So I think we're going to enjoy the way he's moved. But at the same time, when you've got a talent like that, you need to make sure that those moves are correct, and we'll make sure they are.
Just finally, you firmly believe Australia has a world champion in waiting?
Yeah, I think we've got so many great fighters from Australia, and Justis is right up there, you know, in terms of potential world champions. Really pleased to bring him to the stable. It just gives us a real well-rounded position with our Australian fighters, you know, bringing a big heavyweight and a world-class heavyweight to the team as well.